Is rolling. Audio coming at you in three, two, one.
Welcome to the Jeremiah Show, Dr. D. You know what
Yes.
they say? You know that saying that all good things come to those who wait?
Yeah, I've also heard the other one.
How's it
that,
go? How have you heard it?
Well, that's the one that you're. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all good things come to those who wait, and the other is no good deed ever goes unpunished.
The second one always seems to apply to me. But the first one, we have a very special guest here in studio today, and it was no small feat to get him here.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pick up his feet actually
Oh,
and
you're,
drag
say,
him.
how
you're
small are the
drinking
feet?
again.
Yeah. I'm not going to say his name yet,
Okay.
but our guest today, I'm going to tease our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about a special segment, a special correspondent, him coming on as what he is, and that is
And that is.
Mr. Restaurant.
Ooh.
We've been talking about this for, I don't know, 3 years, maybe longer. But
Jeez.
today is the day. Finally, we have a very special guest in studio, Mr. Will Knox. He's the founder of the Knox Company. He's a restaurant broker and a restaurant consultant. He specializes in restaurant real estate and concept development. Let me just throw out a couple of the high-profile restaurants you may have heard of. I bet you have. That Will was involved in. Spago, the Border Grill, one of my very favorite places on the planet, Moza, Public School 310, Nick's in Beverly Hills. Love Nick's. Used to go there all the time. The AOC, Hard Rack Cafe, a Morton Steakhouse, Pink Taco, Lemonade. I could go on and on. Do you see why we call him Mr. Restaurant?
Wait a minute. Pink taco.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was my takeaway.
I would
Nothing-
suggest
nothing
you
gets
not
past
go
you.
there.
Nothing,
Okay.
Yeah, nothing gets past you,
Okay.
Dr. D.
Moving right along.
You're kind of like that Beavis and Butthead, you know. He would always pop in on the stupid stuff, the bad jokes. Anyway, so let me tell you about the man, though. I've known him for probably 3 years or plus now. One of the very best experiences I've had in a long while was right after COVID. I was invited by Mr. Restaurant to Ojai, his hometown now, and we took a walking tour of all the best restaurants in Ojai. 2, 3, 4 hours. Tried a lot of food.
All
tried-
two of the restaurants? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, welcome to the show, Will Knox,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Restaurant.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
I just want the voice that you hear comes from Mr. Restaurant. And not to get off, I want to go back to Ojai, but listen to that voice. I mean, that's a voice made
What,
for radio.
from the purpleness of the grotto? I,
That voice is made for the restaurant,
Oh,
or
okay.
excuse me, for the radio. Yeah, so that walking tour of Ojai, God, you really were Mr. Restaurant, and you knew everybody, and I just love that. It was just such a fun experience. It was a great day, and you haven't done a walking tour of all two restaurants in Ojai, and ate there and drank and checked them out and met the people that run these great restaurants in that little town. You got to do it.
well, it's a happening scene at Ojai. I must tell you, we'll get into that a little later. But, since I've moved there permanently in 2016, I've been fortunate to be involved in some deal making up there, which I never thought I'd do. And the culinary scene is definitely on the up and up. So we'll get into that as we progress.
Yeah, great spots, and there's
And thank you for including me today.
Yep, thank you for being here.
And
And
Richard, thank you for putting up with me.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
I know that before we get started into the real business here, you guys wanted to talk about Adele because you can't wait to bring in Adele. So this is another one of those shows I'll let Adele in, and then Will, are you a fan?
I really became a fan last week when I saw the show that she did at Griffith Park.
Oh.
That was phenomenal.
I didn't see it.
What?
Oh, you should bring it up, stream it, do something. Adele, she was promoting her new album and I guess her new look, right, Richard?
Yeah.
You know-
I mean, our show should be that produced. Would that not be phenomenal?
It was phenomenal, right in front of the Griffith Park Observatory, and it was a gathered, select crowd. And she, needless to say, is a phenomenal performer, and she looks wonderful. She's reduced a lot of weight, and the weight works for or against whatever. But her voice, her timbre is just wonderful. But the production in front of the Griffith Park Observatory, I've never seen. I've been in LA for many, many years, probably too many. But nonetheless, it is a wonderful show, and her work is great.
Yeah.
It
It's
really
like
is.
the projections on the walls.
Yeah, it was just...
It was phenomenal. It's not like it's never been done before, but it was just the combination of everything. And then they had that very special moment with the couple where
Yes,
he
where he
proposed,
proposed to her.
That was very cool. She had no.
Put the Bachelor to shame.
Yeah, he actually was able to make this happen. The girlfriend didn't even know. The fiance did not even know where she was because the whole audience stayed quiet and everything. And all of a sudden the blindfold takes off. It's like, and she just. Oh, it was great. And then, of course, Adele sings a song for him. And that was a phenomenal evening. I loved watching that. And then, of course, the interview that she did.
Yes.
But
with
one of
Oprah.
the things that I find so fascinating is about musicians that we have regularly on this program, and we talk about this all the time, Jeremiah, about their source of inspiration, which is 9 times out of 10, what makes a hit song is because it comes from the heart and the gut, in terms of what she's singing about.
I think that's what makes anything successful. You've got to have that passion.
Yeah.
And it resonates with those higher level performers, athletes, business people.
Mr. Restaurant.
They're into it.
Yeah. What
They're
about your
into it.
passion?
And I want to talk about that
Yeah.
because I think what you do is very special, and
Thank
what
you.
you bring to the game, the
Well, I
business,
stumbled into it,
what
I
you
must
brought
say.
in to this world of restaurants are some of the very best in the world.
I've been very fortunate
No,
to be associated
not
with these brands
overstating that.
and learn from these operators as well. And
All that I want to talk about. But
Okay.
at first, I want to make sure that Dr. D, did you get out of your system?
I'm good.
Are you good with
I'm
Adele
good.
for a few more
Go
shows?
for it. I will let it rest for at least 10. I'll give it 10
you know
All right,
shows.
what?
We'll revisit that.
I wish for Richard. I'll call Richard Dick for a moment. He hates that,
He does.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'll call
He wants to be a doctor.
Little
really.
Rich.
He doesn't
Little
want to. He doesn't want to work for the degree, but he wants to be the
know.
doctor.
or maybe just Richard. Let's call him Richard. But for Richard, I hope one day you could actually get Adele either in this studio or remote. That would be my wish for you.
Or at least we can get you some concert tickets
Oh, man.
and a
I'll
T-shirt.
tell you what. And it's.
You
it
said you were
isn't-
finished.
It isn't just, and it isn't just her appearance. It is the sound, the passion, the emotion that comes out when she's singing these songs. I mean, I don't know how many of us in this room have been through divorce. I have, and it's not fun. Even for a guy, it's not fun.
Even
But
for a guy.
her to reveal that in her music and others as well.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
I'm still stuck on our shows should be produced that well. So if you drop the gauntlet, I'm just going to let you pick
are
it up.
going to have to watch the video. You're going to have to go online and watch the video.
It's a
You're
real
gonna
Let's
treat.
produce our
Oh,
shows that
my
well.
God,
I
you
haven't
are-
seen it, but I believe you.
I got to tell you, once you've seen it, you're going to go, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's enough reason for me to watch. The last thing I want to say about
Yes,
Adele, and
yes.
this is Will Knox. This
And I
is
am
Mr.
done.
Restaurant Show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I always wonder when someone, for singers, I've never asked this question, but it seems like the vocalists who project and have these just amazing ranges, always, you think of the opera singers and you think
Yeah.
of people with a little more weight, and I always wondered, does weight play into that fact? But probably not. It's probably more the vocal training.
Well,
and,
think about a gal that might be 10 years old who really can belt it.
Right.
It's amazing.
So it has nothing to
it's
do with
the
it.
timbre.
yeah.
Yeah. And she obviously, as you just stated, Jeremiah, talked about the training. So as she's losing the weight, she's still training,
Right.
keeping that voice going. And
sounds
every
as-
artist does that. I'm sure that even like, what's the gal with Fleetwood Mac?
Stevie Nicks?
Stevie Nicks. I mean, I'd heard many stories about the trouble she had as part of Fleetwood Mac with her voice, that she had to be real careful. She wasn't all the time, but
Yeah, I just always wondered if
Yeah.
the air in the lung is if it helps. But
Oh, yeah.
so I guess my strategy of gaining some weight so I sing better, it isn't working.
No.
Gonna work.
no, give that up.
Give that up. All right, let's go back to Mr. Restaurant. Will, why Mr. Restaurant? Tell us about
How this all
how this
happened,
all happened and
the trajectory to
what
become
you
Mr. Restaurant.
envision. Yeah.
Well, one night not long ago, when we were searching for some type of positioning for me to be a correspondent on your show, my son came up with the idea of, well, people call you the restaurant guy, or how about Mr. Restaurant, he says. And that stuck. And my wife, who's a branding expert, said, oh, I think that would be a great moniker for you to work with. So here we are, Mr. Restaurant. And I don't pretend to know it all. I've been around restaurants, fortunately, all my life. I grew up in San Francisco. And my favorite restaurant of all time is a restaurant called Trader Vic's.
Mm-hmm.
And as a youngster, my parents, would take us there for special occasions. And it was in this little alley, hidden in San Francisco. And Trader Vic's started out as a restaurant called Hinky Dinks in Oakland, across the bay. And my dad and my mom used to go there when they were dating in the college in the 40s. So Hinky Dinks became Trader Vic's in San Francisco, dark alley, kind of speakeasy type deal. And this restaurant was just phenomenal. It had different rooms, the captain's cabin or the bar, and everything was tiki oriented and Polynesian food. And they had these huge drums. And, I'm 10 years old and I'm just transfixed by this.
Uh-huh.
And
I can imagine that.
and it was a
10-year-old
phenomenal
Will.
experience, just like, to hang out and go to Trader Vic's. And that really got me started, around the restaurant world. And we were fortunate to be able to go out to eat to begin with, I can remember going to New Joe's in San Francisco and North Beach in the early 60s when the beatniks were actually happening, and sitting at the counter and getting a burger, but their burger was on a long sourdough loaf, and the burger was long and thin, and it was just charred right on the grill and right in front of you, and the flame had come out, and juicy,
I can taste
and
that one.
it was a fabulous experience. So I just got exposed at an early age, and my mom was a great cook, very improvisational cook, and I love food, and sometimes it shows. Sometimes it doesn't, but in essence,
Does it help your singing?
It doesn't help my singing whatsoever unless I'm in the shower,
Okay.
and then the basso profondo comes around. So it's always been a fun experience, and I can remember even some years back we were on a trip to Martha's Vineyard, and I had a client who I knew who was from there. And the way that we worked our way around the vineyard was not so much to go to tourist points, but to go to restaurant points around the vineyard. And that way we were able to see and experience Martha's Vineyard, because we were literally on point-to-point breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that way we get our way around. And traveling, I have found it's really great to have certain destinations, in wherever you might be, that are well-known or not so well-known spots, and that gets you around the particular environment that you're traveling to.
Travel built around good
Culinary,
restaurants or even
right.
diners. Or,
Exactly,
yeah.
and I go to all of it. In Japan once, gosh, I'm dropping spaces and places, aren't I?
I would
good.
I would
Does
say
that sound pretentious?
Not at
no,
all.
but I would say no. We're on this trip with you, Will.
That's right.
Mr. Restaurant.
Well, years ago, a client of mine, again in L.A., Chaya.
One of my favorites, by the way, was my favorite.
I had been speaking with them about a project, and I was in Tokyo, and they took me and my wife up to a ryokan, which is a Japanese-style inn, about an hour and a half outside of Tokyo. And they had a lunch with their chef as well as the chef at the ryokan, kind of dueling chefs for lunch. It was a phenomenal experience, and I can remember to this day like a teardrop made out of ice, and inside that teardrop was one piece of sushi or one piece of uni that, of course, my wife wouldn't eat because it was squiggly and all that stuff, or you die first, Will, and then I'll eat it.
Try this puffer fish.
You know,
Try this
so,
lionfish.
right? Yeah, have this blowfish.
Yeah, blowfish.
But the experiences of traveling are enhanced certainly with the places you go to. So, from time to time, people come into L.A. or even now Ojai or this region, and they say, "Where should I go?" And that then gets them to another area. For instance, there's a place I love in Ojai called the Summit. And it's in what's called the Upper Ojai area.
You didn't take me to the Summit.
I'll take you there next time we come. You come.
You see how he teased me? He knew he'd
I
get me
know.
back.
It's a
reels you
divey,
I love
roadside, walk-up window with great burgers and tater tots or fries. Or it's that kind of a greasy spoon that's a little bit more panache to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the roadside, and it's 10 minutes out of the Ojai town up in the Upper Ojai. There's another area of Ojai which is another valley that's more elevated. You got to go up what's called Denison Grade.
Maybe you did take. Is it across from an orange grove and it's red?
Well, there's a lot of orange groves.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say, that's not going to help you at
Yes,
all, is it? In
it's
Ojai.
red. It's red. It's
Right.
red.
Okay, you did take
I
me.
think I
We've
did
got a
take
picture
you.
there together.
Right?
Oh,
But
he did. I told you he took me everywhere.
I mean, it's not that I'm Guy Fieri, because that guy does a great job of exploring. But, I like to know what's going on in a given area. And I've been very fortunate over the years. I came to L.A. actually from San Francisco to pursue an acting and producing life. And in order to do that, I got into real estate rather than waiting on tables. Well, in 1980, and now I'm going to date myself, so if anybody wants to do the math, they can figure it out. I was 30 years old, and the interest rates in the market went to 14% because of the hostage crisis. This is before you were born, Jeremiah. Okay? So, Richard was alive.
Thank you for.
I know that.
Thank you
He's
for
been
lying
drinking
about.
since that time. So that's how that goes. But in essence, in 1980, hostage crisis, 14% interest rates. Now what the F am I going to do? And I decided that maybe commercial real estate rather than residential real estate to support my acting and producing life would be better. And I didn't have any clients at the time, but I had gotten wind that there was a little known chef at a restaurant that was pretty well known at the time called Ma Maison, and his name, this chef, was Wolfgang Puck. I got wind that Wolfgang Puck was looking to open up his own joint. Well, some months later, I found that spot, and that became Spago. And that was Wolfgang Puck's very first venture.
It's such an interesting spot if you'd been there, if you'd visited. It's not there any longer.
It's not there any longer, but it was up on the hill
recently,
in West Hollywood, next to Tower Records.
It was such it was like,
you entered a
I remember
side street
driving
on
up.
Horn. It was like Horn Avenue.
Yeah.
And you literally were right off Sunset Boulevard, right in the middle of rock and roll. It's 1981 when he opens, and it was a hit from the get-go. And I was very fortunate to see that from the beginning, and that got me started in restaurant-oriented real estate.
I just put this together in my head, but it reminds me now that I think about it of Alice Waters' restaurant, how it's perched up on almost
Chez Panisse?
Yeah, Chez Panisse, up on the hill a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
And did Wolfgang Puck at that time work with her, or I know they have since,
but many who worked with Wolf had worked at Chez Panisse or later went on to work with Chez Panisse.
Mm-hmm.
That little world is very little, very
small.
selective, but people like Nancy Silverton, Mark Peel, there's a lot of alums, from the world of Suzanne Goyne. A lot of people came out of that, quote, tribe or that school, if you will.
Right.
And, they spawned a lot of people, not
many of
imitators.
them, you've found this niche that with these wonderful chefs and restaurateurs where you found them, their properties, their famous restaurants, the buildings that these chefs have created that we've all enjoyed from around the world. Mr. Restaurant here in studio, you found those, right?
You're kind.
You did. Am I We do have to take a break, but
Oh,
during the
come
break,
on. I got a break?
we have got
Okay.
we gotta take a small break.
Bye-bye.
But you got to be tired from all this world touring and name dropping.
I'm just getting started.
Just getting started. Mr. Restaurant is on the show today with us this hour. We're going to talk about what we can expect from Mr. Restaurant. Now, if you listen to the show, you know that we have under a handful of really great commentators from various areas that I'm interested in, and
Because
apparently
you're a cultural hound.
yeah, we cover pop culture, we cover the music icons, and we cover food gods. And we have one such food god here in our studio today,
Oh, he
Mr.
drinks so
Will.
much, this guy.
Mr. Will Knox. You think this water looks like water, but it's I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you.
Vodka.
The studio stocks. I don't know. What are you guys stocking around here,
That's
Dr.
right.
D? The Knox Company. Check it out. Check out more about Mr. Restaurant, Mr. Will Knox at theknoxcompany.com. You can contact Will Knox at will@theknoxcompany.com. It's KNOX. We'll be right back after this quick break. Can't wait to get back and talk to Mr. Restaurant.
All right, we're clear. All right, stand by 1 second. I just want to take a quick listen to something.
How's that?
Great, man. It was really great. Cover pop culture. there's Beavis. Just getting started, Mister.
Very
My
little,
next question
very
here. You spoke
selective,
about
but-
some.
Okay,
You
good.
spoke to some of them already.
Was the mic too much in front of my face?
No, you're fine. I was just double checking my settings, and they're fine.
Usually it's like this, right? Like,
You want it
like,
more in
like
front?
no, like the fist is a perfect
Yeah.
in between you and your mouth. That kind of a distance. So you're good. I think
Yeah, you're
these
good.
mics actually are really nice.
Yeah, these
pick
work,
up.
these ones work out pretty well. I'm just going to line things up so we stay.
Stay
It's
on
7
track.
after 10 in
On
the
our-
studio. You never know.
Time just
Just
changes.
flies.
It's like Twilight Zone
We're
around
really
here.
ahead, aren't we? Or behind.
There we
Yeah.
go. And
Hi, welcome to the Jeremiah.
okay, next segment. I'm ready if
Okay.
you are.
Are you ready, Will?
I'm ready
You're
anytime.
always ready.
I'm always on.
You're always on.
In 3, 2, 1.
Today we have a special treat for our listeners, for everybody out there. We're talking with the founder of the Knox Company, Will Knox. He is Mr. Restaurant. He's a restaurant broker, consultant, specializes in the restaurant business and concept development matters. You can find out more at the knoxcompany.com. So check out his website. Really great website. I got to give a real quick plug for your wife, Wendy.
Wendy.
And she designed that website. I just love it. I'm gonna have to borrow from it. or
Wendy
get
at
her-
wendyknox.com.
Yeah, there you go. You talked a little bit about how you fell in love, Mr. Restaurant, with the restaurant business from a young age, and I remember my dad was a carpenter, so he was always chasing one job to the next, right? And the seasons, and we moved around a lot. I went to 11 schools in 12 years, but I do remember on payday, he would take us out to dinner, and it was such an experience because we didn't have a lot, and wherever we went, even if it was the Sizzler or if it doesn't matter where it was a special occasion, and it really imprinted on me how restaurants have become or are a part of all of our lives, that we feel pleasure in. We're eating, we're drinking, we're laughing, we're with family, and from a young age, it was also, it exposed this whole different life, this excitement to me, watching everybody running around and all the tables full and the food and
There's an
just
energy
knowing,
to it.
knowing that we probably couldn't afford it, but we went out as a family and did that together. And that's
Special occasions,
Special
particularly,
occasions.
and the restaurant business is changing, of course, as we speak, with the advent of the pandemic and how people are going out and experiencing, and labor is difficult. We can get into that later, but ostensibly, it's all about the
supply
experience.
chain right now.
Yeah, and certainly the supply chain has a major effect on the operations. But
But what is that?
I've always viscerally, very passionately been about the concept and the food and the execution, the hospitality part of it. You can go to a just piece of crap, little spot in Podunk and have a great experience because the people are nice, they deliver on the value, and the environment is just something that you wouldn't ordinarily get at home. Otherwise, don't go out to eat because you can make it at home, and probably just as well, if not better, if you take the time.
So, what is Mr. Restaurant, Will Knox? What is your definition of why the restaurant business is so ingrained and so special in our lives? If you could sum it up from your perspective.
Well, before the pandemic, people were going to movies, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they would literally just love being in a theater with other people. Sometimes you go to a movie and there's 3 people in the theater. It's kind of a depressing experience, even though it's maybe Lawrence of Arabia, which is one of my favorite films. But sharing and feeling the emotion of other people in a captive
Laughter
environment,
and,
the
and people
buzz.
enjoying,
I don't like going to a restaurant when there's no buzz. I mean, if I'm just one of 3 people, it can still be a fabulous restaurant, but the energy of having other people experience it, like next week I'm going into a restaurant I'm going to see for the first time that's just going to open in the next couple of days in LA, and I'm actually quite fascinated by it. It's a restaurant called Katine, K-A hyphen or apostrophe T-E-E-N. And Katine is operated by I guess you'd call him a celebrity chef who I know of, but I don't know. His name is Wes Avila, and he has a concept in LA that's been very popular called Guerrilla Tacos. Well, that interests me because this is actually, from what I read, a huge restaurant, and it's about 5,000 feet, all outdoors, which is great for the COVID world. And the setting is meant to be the Yucatan meets LA meets Mexico in general. So I'm going to take my son, 26 years old, very hip guy, with a lot of tats, my wife, who's somewhat selective in what she puts in her belly, and myself, who really just wants to see the scene, to check this new spot out because it was written up and it captivated me, and I'm going to be in LA, and I just thought, I want to see this joint and see really, if it's really humming, and my guess is it probably will be, not just because it's the first few days, but because it's an interesting design element, mixing with the food element, mixing with the culinary element, and, that's the kind of thing that gets me excited.
You opened I'm not going to mention the name of the restaurant, but you helped to open a restaurant here in Santa Barbara, and we went to a couple of the meals, and we ordered shrimp, a shrimp cocktail. And my wife was more observant than I was. And she said, "Don't eat that." I said, "Why not?" She says, "Because it hasn't been cleaned. Still had the vein in there." And it was very disappointing in that respect. And the thing is that I was there when Jeremiah was working with them, and boy, he was just going to town with them, trying to get everything organized and set up and everything. And that's one of the things about a restaurant. You can have someone like Jeremiah come in there and do his thing and give them all the guidance, just like you see the restaurant Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
You can do all the right things from your perspective, but if the people aren't listening to you, it's still going to be a disaster.
Oh, it's execution.
Yeah, and it's absolutely. And I got to tell you,
consistency and standards.
Consistency,
and,
yeah.
And I'm sorry I didn't catch that, Dr. D. I wasn't at the expo window that night, but that's no excuse.
Well, no. But it wasn't. It's not on you. That's what I'm saying. It isn't on you.
Is the restaurant still in
But
business?
there are a million different ways you can do it right or do it wrong.
Exactly.
And yeah, there's a lot to the business. It's a very exciting, hard, challenging business. But when you get it right and you get that buzz and
That's
it
right there.
That whole everything goes off right.
Well, I can tell you that from an experience very early on with Peter Morton, who founded the Hard Rock Cafe, where I really got my stripes. I was able to sit with him many times, and he would nicely but firmly make sure those fries were just the right consistency. And I would see him hand those fries back, or the watermelon barbecue sauce, hand that back because it's just not tart enough. So if you're paying attention, and to this day, If you go into a Wolfgang Puck restaurant, you're seeing Wolfgang Puck work that restaurant still. He is not retired. He works his own spot, and he cares. And that execution is the difference.
That's why I disagree with the question that was asked of someone who wanted to start a restaurant, and this was before you had come along. The question was asked, why do you want to start a restaurant? And they'd give them, the food, this, that, and the other. And the person responded, no, you're wrong. You go open a restaurant to make money. And I'm going, wait a minute, that makes no sense. And what you just said, Will, is
do what
the
you love
reason
and the money
why-
will follow.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, and in the restaurant business, if you make any money, it's just a happy coincidence.
It really is. It really
It's
is.
like owning a boat.
Unless you call Will Knox or myself,
There you go,
and
there
we'll,
you
we'll
go.
help you get it right. When we come back, I want to talk about these amazing, these incredible chefs that we all know that are almost family names if you're into food, that you've helped out, Will, and you gotta wonder. The chef has the talent, the restaurant owner, the staff, all this stuff comes together. All the million little things come together to make an experience and make a restaurant, put it on the map.
You got it.
But location,
Bottom line.
bottom line, and you got to wonder what factor that plays, and I think it's a pretty big one in the overall success in these institutional restaurants. So we'll talk about that with Mr. Restaurant when we come back from the short break.
All right, we're clear. Very good. I'm going to open a restaurant, but it's going to be in a cul-de-sac.
You'll be a cul-de-sac gangster.
That's it right there.
What's the cool? I don't get it.
In a dead end. It'll be in a dead end.
Because it's a dead end at the end of the day anyway.
That's
Oh man.
We have an advertiser.
What do
for
we
one
got
of our-
left for time here, Dr. D?
What we have left for time is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me tell you, we still have two segments. They're going to be shorties, or at least this one is. We're at 36. We've done two segments. We're at 36 minutes. I would say make this one a short one, and then if you want to go long in the fourth.
So in the fourth, let's talk all about
Upcoming show.
Yeah, upcoming shows, what
we're
your
going.
ideas for it,
Got it.
all that kind of stuff. So this one, let's finish up with
Is there
that.
contact information? Can people contact you with suggestions or anything like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can
So
even
why
set
don't
you up with
promote
Will
that?
at
Absolutely.
the Jeremiah Show if you want,
Right.
and we can give that out.
We can do that, or they can contact me or
All right.
contact
Mm-hmm.
you. You know,
Okay.
I'm always open to that.
Okay.
I think
Excellent.
we can, hear
So
from our
you want to
public.
put that out there then? Put out
Yeah.
your email.
So why
and
don't,
put
why don't we do
at
this
the end.
segment short with contact info? How about that?
Okay, and let's give it out again at the end though, because
Exactly.
people
You've been
finishing the
doing
show.
it.
Yeah.
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 I forgot to do it there, but
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
All right.
okay.
All right,
let's do
here
it.
we go. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. Mr. Restaurant is in the studio. We are honored to have Will Knox with us today. He's a restaurant broker, a restaurant consultant. He is a restaurant expert. I'd call you that. I don't know if you want to take the
Drink a
title.
lot, man. I'm telling you.
But it's only water.
Yeah. What if we were to? Could we convert this radio station into a radio station motif
Pop-up.
restaurant? I mean,
Well,
would that not be cool?
It'd be cool to eat while we're doing a show. It might not sound that great in your ear, but
Yeah, I think that would
Wouldn't
be
that
an
be cool?
interesting idea to do a diner, / radio format,
Yeah.
show, and people could record
Be
their
fun to
own
promote.
shows, and there we go. That's concept development. That's
So-
Is that what that is?
that's what you come to me for.
Ah.
yes, and
Let's do it.
Mr. Restaurant is joining us. I can't tell you how happy I am after all the years of talking about this as coming on as a host.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to
The
it.
show. So you'll hear more from Mr. Restaurant, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment. Let me follow up with the question I left you before the break, which was Suzanne Goen, Wolfgang Puck,
Nancy Silver.
Nancy Silverton. Name a couple more.
Oh,
Name drop here.
you know,
Name dropping with Jeremiah.
dearly newly departed Mark Peel. I've been also with guys that have not necessarily been chefs, but been operators. Bob Spivak, for instance, who created the grill concepts, the Grill on the Alley, the Daily Grill, Public School. Larry Nicola, who operated Nick's in Beverly Hills for many, many years, now operates a spot up in Ojai called Ojai Roti. I was blessed to meet Adam Perry Lang, who's probably one of the top meat chefs, culinary wizards. David Lentz, who happens to be married to Suzanne Going, who is a wonderful seafood master. I've just been blessed over the years to meet different people. Celestino Drago and his family I've worked with, and again, I don't want to boast that, but I've been fortunate with operators as well as the chefs.
You have been fortunate, but what is the secret, Will, that it's not by accident? These names, some of the best names in the culinary world seek you out, for you to seek out for them the location
Well, the
that
real
they
estate
put their name on.
is a
So
unique
important.
business. There's no question about it. Restaurant real estate is unique, and I don't do the Taco Bells of the world. I have been, again, fortunate to deal with upscale independent operators, and here I started out with this little-known chef, Wolfgang Puck, and then I, segued shortly thereafter to work with Peter Morton, who's just a great operator himself. Got to know certain developers through that process. Got to know the process of finding a larger space, might be 7,000 square feet for a Hard Rock, or a smaller space for just a
But
a
why
little.
do they choose you? What do you?
Oh, I'm fun. No.
And you've created this.
Right, I
You
created a
found
bit
these
of a niche.
institutions in a way, right?
Yes, and it evolved, over time. My acting and producing career that I came to love and brought me to L.A. Something had to give when I finally got married, and I jettisoned my acting career, and that was fine for what I was doing at that period of my life. And what started happening was the traction of the restaurant real estate came about because people were getting confidence, or they had heard or may be referred to me by someone else who had confidence that I intuitively, and there's a certain intangible here. You can go through all the demographics and say there are 400,000 cars a day, or 200 people walking down the street, or you can look at the demographics of who's living nearby and all of that. But at the end of the day, there's an intuitive feeling that you have that Jeremiah's restaurant is going to succeed because there's no other radio concept restaurant in this area. Or there may be three, but like Carl's Jr. goes up against McDonald's right down the street, or Starbucks has Pete's. It's a certain intuitive feeling that your concept will succeed, and you can throw all the analytics out the window. I mean, I'm not saying I don't rely on analytics. I do, but there's also a gut check and a gut feeling, and you just have to kind of go on that at the end of the day, that, would my concept succeed here? And, you look at a site and you might say it's a $2 million site, or it's a $4 million site. And, if you're generating $1.7 million in sales and you can make a success out of that, and let's just call it 15% of the bottom line, well, that's pretty good return on $1.7 million. Well, maybe you can't work on $1.7 million. You really have to have a bigger spot. So you need 3,000 square feet in order to do what you do, and you want to do $1,000 a square foot, which is maybe $3 million at the end of the year. That's how you can be successful. The one group more than any other that I have felt over the years has been incredibly successful for picking locations relative to their concepts is a group in Chicago called Let Us Entertain You. And Rich Melman is the king of the hill. And years ago, I had created a quick service concept called World Links. And we, my partner and I, were attempting to take over the little-known hot dog and sausage world, as others were attacking pizza and burgers and that higher rung of the food chain. We went to the lowest rung possible, and we wanted to brand, the hot dog and sausage. And we opened in Century City in Los Angeles, and I remember meeting Rich Bellman one day, who was very, very complimentary, and that really, was very, very awe-inspiring for me, because a guy like that saying, you took 170 square feet and now you're going to roll this thing out, and it looks like it's been here for years. And we concepted it just right, and we were validated, but he validated the location. And at the end of the day, it's all about location.
And your gut, from Mr. Restaurant Will Knox.
Trust
your gut
in
and
anything.
I gotta say, you got a I mean this as a compliment, you got a good gut, because you picked some really
Tell my doctor
some
what it looks
jewels
like.
out there,
Okay. Talk to
some
my
real
doctor.
jewels in the restaurant. Luke's, Spago, Border Grill, Mozza, Nick's in Beverly Hills, AOC, Hard Rock Cafe, Morden Steakhouse, and the list goes on. You got to check out more at theknoxcompany.com. I'm telling you, Mr. Restaurant's a fascinating man, and he works with the best people in the business. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about your new show here via the Jeremiah Show. As host, Mr. Restaurant will be bringing us some great, interesting interviews and locations from around the world that he's worked on, or that he knows people that you know and that you're interested in the business, that are up and
Concepting it
coming.
at the moment.
You're concepting. We're going to talk all about that when we come back. Stay with us.
Clear.
Cool. How much do we have?
I should have done one shout out. I'm still going to get a shout out for Susan Feniger and Mary Sue Milliken.
Yeah, I got to
Border
talk
Grill.
to you about this guy you just mentioned. Oh, we got a camera on, so I'll do it off air. But you got
Okay.
something really interesting, I think.
Okay.
You just sparked something for me. And the people that I'm working with, just met with them.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
We'll talk all about it.
Okay.
This is the last.
This is all your segment. I'm just going to set you up and talk about.
No, you'll just
Okay.
we'll just
Last
play
segment.
around.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You are listening to Mr. Restaurant.
No, we're listening to Jeremiah on the Jeremiah
Well,
Show.
for this one, Will, but we have Will Knox here, Mr. Restaurant. I'm going to give out his website again, The Knox Company, KNOX company.com. Contact Will at theknoxcompany.com. He'd love to hear ideas for his new
Or
show.
email me directly at will@theknoxcompany.com. Or you can even call me. I'm accessible after 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
till 9:30.
Sometimes you go a little longer. Feel free to call me at 310-993-6896. That's 310-993-6896. And we'll take it from there.
Yeah, ideas. You right? You want to hear show
Oh,
ideas.
I love ideas.
You want to get on your show.
Concepts.
Yeah.
Hey, can we do a burger spot in Tuscaloosa? Hey, if you've got the money and you've got the people that operate it, let's do it. That's the way I would go for it.
I still love the idea, because we have a bunch of it, of old radio and television equipment set up inside. That would be the motif for that restaurant. And then, of course, doing your
A
own
mic
show.
at the,
WKRP
mic at the table.
Cincinnati.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Mike's
Hang
at
from
the
the ceiling.
table, and everybody gets
Not
to
on the
record their
table,
own little
hang it from the ceiling.
podcast. Wouldn't that be kind of cool, actually?
Okay.
Okay, so let's
do it.
talk
If you've got
about.
the money and you've got somebody to operate it, then we'll talk.
Jeremiah?
If you want to talk, Will, giving out your phone number there, your email address, to the listeners around the world, in almost every country right now we're in.
That's what's so phenomenal about
that-
what we're doing.
Yeah, it's so cool, and I know, and I hear from a lot of them, especially from outside the United States. If you ever wanted to talk to a real cool guy and a pro in the business that's worked with all of your favorite celebrity chefs, that's you, Will Knox,
Oh.
and you've got ideas still. You can take a box and turn it into an icon.
Well, you're again very, very, very kind. It collaborates. It's about collaboration. Okay, I collaborate. All right. It's not about
It's your
just
gut.
Will.
It's your But you know what, by the way, with the compliments, they're all true, and I know you're a humble guy and you're being modest right now. But as my grandfather used to tell me with a compliment, just say thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
let's not waste any time. I want to talk about what we can expect from, first of all, Mr. Restaurant. What can we expect as a host? What do you
Well,
what do
I'll
you
tell you
envision
something.
for your show?
I years ago was inspired by Charlie Rose. Some people would say Charlie Rose. I love Charlie Rose because he would always do these one-on-one, very in-depth interviews. And I thought, no one's doing this relative to the business of restaurants. They're doing it relative to the food and some other aspects of it, but I'm the guy who's more front of the house interested, conceptually interested, what makes a restaurant tick, whether it's design, whether it's, the food, of course, the mechanics of the deal. I'm a deal guy, and so that's what's kind of led me to you and getting involved with you to be your correspondent, your roving correspondent. And because of the advent of Zoom and or just radio itself, we can go anywhere in the world and hook up with somebody in Dubai. For instance, a client of mine, Celestino Drago, is on his way as we speak to Dubai to open up Il Pastaio in Dubai. What's to stop us from interviewing Celestino in Dubai, and let's talk about, Il Pastaio and the origin of that, and getting, the listening audience more involved with the rudiments of the business of restaurants. It's all very superficial when you go in there and you eat and you see it on maybe a Gordon Ramsay and all that kind of stuff, the restaurant shows. But I wanted to kind of take it further as to really getting into the spot. Like one guy I'd like to interview eventually would be Dan Barber at Blue Hill in upstate New York. A good friend of mine, now deceased, Joe Miller, worked with Dan, and Dan's out of L.A. I've never met Dan, but I've heard a lot about Blue Hill. And a place like that interests me, in
There's a
rural
great chef's
upstate
table
New York.
on Dan Barber. Have you
Right.
seen that?
No, I've not.
Oh, you should check it, what he's doing with the farms and for his sourcing
Okay.
for his restaurants. A really
Great.
great.
I'll check
great
that
episode.
out. I have an affinity to Mary Sue Milken and Susan Feniger, the Two Hot Tamales. They've been great with me over the years, and they have a lot to say. So eventually, they may come on the show. Anybody that has something to say, I'm interested in listening to. Except Dick. Or should I say Richard?
I was going to say, I have a mean...
He goes by Dr. D.
Richard's got something to
I
say.
have a
Dr.
mean
Professionally.
Dorito, bologna,
Between
and
9 and
mustard,
9:30.
hors d'oeuvre.
Ooh.
No?
All right,
Ooh.
let me leave you
Wow.
with this. I can't wait for the series.
That's gut-wrenching.
In more ways than one.
Do
Dorito,
you put
bologna, and
this?
mustard.
Do you put the 7-Up in the scotch?
I put
Do you drink that with your 7-Up and scotch?
I still,
I'm a purist.
but see, who is the first person? to put soda?
Okay.
Anyway,
This is like Adele. You
Move
can't. We have 1 minute, right?
Move along. I'm sorry.
Refer to episode 316, 325, 350. You'll hear about his scotch and 7.
There you go.
So can't wait for the series, and I don't want to give too much away, but I want to tease this. Hopefully, you're going to spin this off to your own show.
I can tell you that there's a couple of new openings in the Ojai region, and I want to talk to those guys that are opening up a pizza joint.
Can you
called-
say who, or you?
Yeah. They've actually opened Pinyon, Pinyon, and these are two young guys that have taken the wood fire pizza craze and made it their own in Ojai. And upcoming in January is a restaurant called the Duchess by the Rustic Canyon Restaurant Group out of L.A., and they're opening up a big spot that's going to be a terrific spot, and it's going to feature Kate's Bread out of Ojai, as well as they're bringing in a chef who's got Burmese and SoCal roots. So you're going to get a bit of Burma meets Southern California meets a great pastry chef in Kate from the land of Ojai. And, as time goes on, I'm just going to explore those people that titillate me that I think, even Jeremiah would be interested in. because
I'm interested
you've
now.
got good taste.
So save your appetite for the Mr. Restaurant Show. You can borrow that if you like. So, Will, last question, and we're gonna go. We get hungry on this show, and I love it.
Already, we're done.
We're already done, but not. But this is just the beginning. So we wanted to introduce you again to the audience as
Thank
Mr.
you.
Restaurant.
Looking forward to
Cannot wait for you to come in and take the show over, and then eventually spin it off, hopefully, to Mr. Restaurant, because you're not going to be able to get enough of this and his show.
So we'll be
really
doing
great
this
show.
from the purpleness of my grotto. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever you want to, whatever restaurant you are at, whatever area in the world you are at, well, whatever's interests you, we will be interested in. And I just want to leave with one last question for you. Before this question though, when can we expect the first show? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Oh man, I would say January.
January. So look for that.
Yeah, look for this in January.
we'll
We're gonna take a little bit of a holiday break, and then probably after about the 15th of January, we'll be back on.
After you've digested and
Yeah, it takes a while to get through that.
the holidays. What must every great restaurant have?
Oh,
Mr. Restaurant.
what must? I think a hat rack.
Okay, tune in January when we bring back Mr. Restaurant. Thank you so much, Will Knox, for joining us today. I told you it goes quick, doesn't it?
Sure does when you're having fun.
Yeah, and we always have fun. The KnoxCompany.com, Knox, and founder. The Knox Company. Will is a restaurant broker by day job, right? So if anybody needs you out there.
Yeah, I'm with a little group called Berkshire Hathaway. So contact me if you feel like you want to talk.
Hardly anybody's ever heard of that.
No, who are they? He also specializes in restaurant consulting, so he can answer and help you out, take you down the right track, so you do not get sideways at all. It's a tough business, and Will Knox just loves talking restaurants. Mr. Restaurant.
Thank you so much.
See you in January.
Okay, keep drinking, Jeremiah.
Keep drinking water. Just so you all know, I'm drinking water. And I'd like you to all remember this. Communicate, but listen more and evolve.
We're clear.
Nice.